Hello. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Something like that.
We're semi-competent Twitch streamers.
Yeah. Yes. Dragons. Because life happened.
No audio. Tony, no audio.
Tony, no audio. Tony, no.
Dang it, Tony.
There we go. How about I? Nope, that one was me. That one was me. That one was me.
Come on, man.
That one was on me. So, yeah. So as I was saying, we are back with a full house tonight. So thanks to everybody that stopped by the Q&A session last week, even though it was cobbled together kind of last minute. It was a lot of fun. We had some good questions, some good conversations, and we learned a little bit about each other. We did. No. We broke each other down. We really got in there, you know, really got into the feels.
You had a very
Maybe I'm glad I wasn't there.
So what I'm hearing, D, is that you just
I like blacked out for part of it.
Look, we got in there, we sat down, we said, what is this? How are you? What is this? That's what we did. That's really what we did.
What is this? That is the question.
What is this? This is a stream where we play Dungeons and Dragons most of the time, and then sometimes we're a little goofy. Dungeons and Dragons! We should do that every time now.
The real Q&A was the friends we made along the way.
The real Q&A was the friends we made along the way.
Thank you,
It's like
Jen.
a trigger at this point. Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons! So,
Oh,
it was good times were had by all. Alright, there we go. Turn that down a smidge for me and for you guys. So, before we get into tonight's session, which, we'll recap here in a second, we got to do the normal breakdown, except this time, there's a little extra special stuff going on in our normal breakdown. So first, as always, D, because I feel like you need to bring the energy up. It's happening. You need to bring the energy up.
What, me spacing off and you think
Yes.
frozen isn't?
Yeah, no, I think we need to juice it up a little bit more, and I think you need to tell the world what is Clips.
What is
Clips is us. No. Clips are
people?
Clips are us. Clips are something that helps us grow our channel, our brand. We use them as our Be Right Back screen. We also use them on our TikTok. Go follow us on TikTok. And it's also just nice to be able to look back. If you are new to clipping on Twitch, down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen where you see us is a little clapper button. You can clip on that, or click on that, not clip on it. Well, you can also clip on
You
it.
click on it to clip that.
On that, yes, to get a portion, the most recent portion of the stream. You can clip it down to whatever part you thought was good or memorable, and then be sure to title it, because that helps with the algorithm. The all-powerful algorithm.
The algorithm.
All hail. Well done.
Not to mention we're funny, so do it.
Yes. So it's very well done. Props to you.
Thank you.
Good.
Bill,
Yes.
where on the internet can people go and check out these clips, or funny videos, or informative videos, or even videos of our previous campaigns?
I don't know where.
I'm asking you! You're the one that's supposed to know! I don't know!
Amazing.
I just show up and tell you guys what's going on!
Why didn't I think of that?
That would have been good.
Clip that.
Quick, now, activate, engage.
Oh, we're unhinged today.
You can go. You can go check us out. You can find all kinds of nifty business, all those clips, all those nifty things, amongst other content that you won't find here on TikTok and YouTube, which you're going to find all of our nifty business, all these campaigns that we're doing, both of Syria and Starhel. Everything on there is going to be thrown in there. You can catch up later on this kind of stuff, and don't even have to catch us here. You can catch a rerun. We always appreciate it if you do, of course. But you can always find us on there. Drop a follow, drop a subscribe, drop a like, all that happy business. Share it with your friends.
Share with your grandma.
Share with your grandma. Share it with your
We're
dog.
particularly liked by grandmas.
Yeah. Grandma, this is a grandma-approved stream.
Grandma
Other
approved.
age groups.
Yep. Also, dentists. I heard dentists are really into our stream for some weird reason.
I heard one of 4 of 5 dentists really like our stream.
There it is.
I'll get there.
There it
I'll
is.
get
That was a
there.
good one. No. We're
Good job.
it's the real dentists were the friends we made along the way.
Can I get a redo? Can I just
Sure.
get a
Go ahead.
redo? Like,
And go. Go.
4 of 5 dentists.
Hey,
Oh my
you know why dentists
Oh,
like us so
man.
much? Because we're so mouthy.
Ah, there we go. No, it works. It works. Kaylee, if people want to come and find a fun, growing community where we hang out and talk about D&D and all other kinds of stuff, and they're not on stream, where can they go?
Place I heard of that's called the Break Room, and it's over on Discord, and it's a pretty cool place to hang out, as far as I.
There you go. Yep, so there's all kinds of fun conversations there, so go check that out. I got called out for some cheese dice that were found, which were fantastic. I love
Wait,
it.
this
Watch out
break
for
room.
that guy,
How
Jeff.
reliable
if you
is
do
your
this the break
source?
room.
Is your
Yeah,
source very reliable?
Extremely reliable.
Okay, good.
There you go. So that goes down the normal spiel, and then Christy, I believe, has a special breaking news announcement.
I have. It's literally all went down like an hour before the stream started.
If there are presses, it'd be hot off them.
Yes. So some of you might remember my fancy dice box that I showed off. That's magnetic and it has a dice rolling tray. Holds a lot of dice, as you can see. This was made by a guy named Art, who owns Hexwood Creations. And I reached out to Art and see if we could do a partnership, and he agreed. So we have a code for hexwoodcreations.com that is RB20, like RB20. And if you take that code over to Hexwood Creations, you can get 5% off stuff in their store. And they make, in addition to these dice boxes, which are really cool because he actually makes inserts that are magnetic in between, so you can have like a stacked up dice box with different configurations and things. He also makes wooden signs, he makes cutting boards, all sorts of really cool woodworking projects. And he actually makes custom DM screens as well that use the same kind of magnetic technology. A lot of really cool stuff in his store. So hexwoodcreations.com, RB20 is the code for 5% off. And you can also follow him on TikTok as well at Hexwood Creations there. And he's a cool dude and makes a very good product. So
I'm following right now.
There we go. Check out and bought. So, once again, that's hexwoodcreations.com. And then the code is RB20, Rodeo Bravo 20 for 5% off your purchases. So go over there now, check it out. And thank you.
And that will be, we'll make sure that code gets posted in the break room as well. And this is ongoing, so we'll make sure we mention it. Maybe we'll get something going in chat to remind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But go tell Art that we sent you.
Yep. Just be like, hey, Art, we went to Reality Break and they told us about your awesome products and we got this cool code. So thank you for making awesome stuff.
And also, he has a Ko-Fi, so if you can't afford one of the dice boxes or other pieces, if you just want to support his Ko-Fi, you could do that too.
Go buy him a cup of coffee. I'm sure.
Coffee or whatever.
See,
I
coffee,
Ko-Fi,
tea,
I'm probably wrong.
Water, energy drink. Hopefully not energy drink. I mean, they're good, but they're incredibly
Yeah,
unhealthy
that's
for you.
automatically done.
Shush.
Shush.
As she drinks one. Coffee's bad for you. Shut up! Is that?
Listen.
All right. Any other announcements?
I'm just glad that
That's it.
I'm glad that we're all here, and I'm glad you are here with us.
Same.
Chat. It's been a rough couple weeks, and it's going to be an arduous couple weeks, couple months for us, but we're glad you're here for the ride, so we appreciate you. That's it. That's it. So, I know I got choked up too. It's just like thinking about it just made me like it hit me in that spot. I really got in there, you know. I really got in there. It was like, what is this? What are we?
We like Biddle-a-doo already. Come on.
All right, so if nobody has anything else, let us get into. Let's take a break for the real world. So, last we left the party, they had made their way from the Crossroads resort over to Moore. Finally, after a long and arduous journey. As soon as they got there, they noticed that the city had a different kind of vibe than what they were used to. There was increased security that was an almost unnerving amount of cleanliness and attention to detail. But wandering the streets, they happened across a beggar who had a wooden staff and was sitting there on the street begging, after a short conversation, found out that the beggar was not only a halfling, but apparently the great uncle of one Phajin Mosswater.
Oh yeah! It's all coming back to me now.
It's all coming back to me now. So after so the party went and partook in his hospitality, stayed at his place for the night, where Jen got to reach out via a magical gem that let her teleport her thoughts across the entire country. So she got to have a nice conversation with her younger brother, who was very, very happy to hear from her. Sad that she was not nearby, but was very happy to hear from her. So she had a nice, touching reunion, memorable reunion, even though it was only for a short 5-minute conversation. And the party partook in very basic stew and hanging out with mice that were apparently friendly to her uncle. So we ended with everybody getting a good night's sleep and waking up the next day. So the party does in fact wake up. And what they wake up to is you all wake up to the little pitter-patter of feet scurrying about on the floor. And as you all rise and look around, you see some of the mice, a couple of the mice that you had met the night before, scurrying off. They kind of wedge their way under the door and make their way outside. And you awaken to the smell of pretty much the exact same thing that you had eaten the night before. So you look over to the kitchen area, and there's Burchar, standing over the giant cauldron with a giant ladle, appearing to be stirring around some sort of stew. So he keeps stirring, looks around, and says, "Oh, good morning, everyone. As you age, you tend to not sleep as much as you used to, but, for anyone that is hungry, I'm making another stew very similar to last night. You work with what you got, and that's pretty much what I'm doing now."
That's fair.
We appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good stew.
We can grab some ingredients too while we're around today for you. We can pick some stuff up from the market.
Oh, that won't be necessary. I do appreciate the kindness, but that won't be necessary. It's as I talked about last night a bit. It's you never expected the day to go the way it does sometimes, and running across my long-lost great niece that I didn't even know I had, is certainly a way to, end the day. So, at this point, he kind of points to you, Morag, and says, "You, tall one, come go get some bowls for me."
Oh, okay. Grabs bowl.
All right, thank you. And he starts pouring them out, handing them to each one of you. So, what's on the agenda for today?
Stew at the moment.
Well, we need to go to the garrison at some point so that we can establish a connection.
I totally forgot about that.
So that we can establish connection with
the local commander here. Yeah.
Commander Theron. Okay.
I was gonna say, did he give us this?
I'd have to
Yes.
find that.
Yeah.
I know I have them written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commander Theron. He's how do I say this? How do I say this politely? Kind of an uptight bastard, so.
I'd say
well,
I'm not
it's
surprised by
polite
the
and
side of the city.
Well, let's just say he and the governor, they tend to care very much about public appearance, so...
Oh, we're gonna go over so well with them then.
Yeah. I wonder
You
if
strike me as
Icewind
the
knows
type.
about that.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Icewind warned him about us.
Oh
I'm a little
god.
surprised Icewind didn't warn us about him.
I'm just gonna eat some stew. Warn him about what?
Hey, don't worry about it, Flynn. Speaking of which, though, it might be a good idea if you, tone it down. Flynn, you're very,
You
you're
mean like
very ostentatious. And
you mean like play a B flat instead of a like
Flynn,
regular
that
major?
wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but you know how you live at life at 10, right?
Quarter mile at a time!
Life.
Live life a quarter mile at a time!
Yeah. It would probably be helpful if you took it down to a 7. Does that make sense?
How do I do that?
Be a little bit less you, Flynn.
I didn't want to say it like that.
I don't
Just
know.
take
Maybe
it down a
maybe
notch.
just don't talk as much. Might help.
Or at all!
Oh,
How am I supposed to talk to you then?
I'm gonna give Flynn
You
like a
can still
half hug.
talk to us,
Like, oh, it's
but
okay,
don't
buddy.
talk at people.
Oh, okay. Keep them included in the conversation. I'm really good at that.
Not
Sure.
talking for now.
I get. You know what? Forget it. We're just gonna. We are, and it's just gonna.
You know what might
It'll
help?
be what it is.
You could use message to get what you'd like to say to the people, to us, before. Oh crap! Did I just write
You
myself?
should be the first mime in
Sorry.
more.
To get us,
I've heard of mines
and
before.
then we can go from there.
I'm not sure if you got what she said.
I didn't.
She said you could be the first mime and more.
There are very many different talents
You know,
that one can have.
I bet I could do that. I've heard of great mimes.
And we can play the quiet game while we're here in more.
I don't like playing the quiet game when we're around other people.
What if the winner gets a big feast?
I thought that's only when we're trying to go to sleep.
This could be a long game, long version of the quiet game.
It's like I'm talking
The
to my
longest one
4-year-old.
ever.
It's like I'm talking to Toby right now.
Do you think you're up for the challenge, Flynn? I mean, if it's too much for you, then,
I mean, nothing's too much. You know that. I'm all about anything you can throw at me. But can I still do the mime bit?
Mimes don't talk.
Yeah, but they're still very loud.
They're loud without
No.
noise.
They're expressive, not loud.
I feel like this is still gonna backfire somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so...
Wait, when do I start?
Right now.
How about when we leave? Berkshire.
Jen, Berkshire pulls you aside and says, "Do you have to have this conversation on the regular with him like this? Is that something you have to do normally?"
They come to places that are so uptight, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I can do this. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna show up everything. This is gonna be expanding my repertoire. Yes.
Excellent. Well, before we go to the garrison, I don't remember if I pointed it out to you all when we came through the gates and had to sign our names. There were a handful of names. I didn't catch how long ago it was, but there were a handful of names who scribbled kind of like I do to obscure their names. and the information that they were asking for at the gate. And I strongly suspect that that was our assassination party
The
from
books
before.
by now?
Mm.
Examine them?
From the crossroads?
No, from so you know when we came into Moore, there was the book we had to sign.
Right.
That was I don't know if everybody remembers the book we had to
Yeah,
sign.
I remember the book.
Okay. So, a trick we were taught in the Thieves Guild, and that I use all the time, to cover your tracks, as it were, is to sign guest books and ledgers and things like that, like you barely know how to write, like just scribbles, completely illegible, but in the shape of a name, you know? And so whenever I see that, it just kind of dings a little bell. And that was a group of them, like 5 or 6 names, all together, right in a row. And that just was suspicious to me.
Right, but you said assassination attempt.
Yeah, so that's why we're here,
Right,
because there
but
was an
it's been, like,
assassination
5 or 6
attempt on
days.
the commander and
Okay,
on the
I know,
governor.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that was those people coming into Moore before the celebration.
That could very well be.
So,
I wonder though.
I didn't get a chance to mention it earlier,
because-
so I wanted to make sure I pointed it out.
Right. But I wonder, so since in Thuron, it would appear that the Inventors Guild actually had something to do with that. I wonder if they're working together, or if there was something along the lines of the same like parade contraption. I wonder if there's a parade going around in every single place that these places are, or the assassination attempts or attacks are taking place in. I wonder if there's been some sort of parade where people could pop out or hide very well in them.
I mean, it could be. We know that there were multiple parades that day. I'm trying to find. Oh yeah. So actually, according to Icewind, Moore wasn't one of the places that had one of the Inventors Guild parades. That was Boros, Osing, Waynan, and Pastrinos, and Turan, obviously. And then Moore was the assassination attempt. Assassination attempts at the governors and commanders at the same time. So in order to carry out like a dual strike, as it were, you'd need at least a couple of people. Preferably
Right.
a couple of people at each site, so you have a spotter, especially if you're getting away. Flynn has his hand up.
Character question: with the celebration of independence, I'm assuming that has happened every year since the war was won.
Mhm.
What was different this year compared to previous years? Is the parade new?
The biggest thing, because a lot of places had parades. Most every place has a parade or some kind of demonstration or something like that. What made this year special was the Inventors Guild participating, since they are a fairly new guild. So their participation was not only new to this year, it was also why not every city in Starhel ended up doing a parade.
Okay, so it really is just a close, tight net of people that actually knew that this was going to be happening.
From what you had gathered from Icewind, it was
Yeah.
pretty much the governors and the garrison commanders, and then from there it kind of depends on how much, at least the governors and the garrison commanders knew. And then from there it depended upon like whether the I remember, if memory serves me correct, Icewind said he only had like a couple sergeants that he told because that they could prepare like the wagon that had the two dwarves to come in, they kind of escorted them around and stuff. So from there, it depended upon who the garrison commander or the governor told, but
Okay, that's
at
right.
least
And
the
that's
governor
why we
and the
were
garrison
thinking
commanders knew.
maybe it was someone in the Adventurers Guild that was maybe a loose end.
Well, you don't know at this point, but what you do know is that at least the governors and the garrison commanders knew.
I think that's what we were thinking before. Okay, all right, back in character.
Anyway, I think it's a line to investigate. If there's a group of 5 or 6 shady-looking people around.
I don't disagree.
Well,
Shall we head to...
certainly sounds like you've got quite a day ahead of you, or at least a morning.
Yeah.
I'd steer clear of trouble because it's been known for a while here that anybody that rabble rouses tends to get the sharp end of the sword first, and questions tend to be asked later. So I'd be mindful if I were you.
Noted.
Is it sad I think Clancy could get a job here?
And he looks.
Right up your street, Clancy.
Burchar looks at you, Clancy, and goes, "Are you the stabbing type, my friend?"
You could say that.
Well, just make sure you end up stabbing the right folks. Otherwise, you could end up getting yourself stabbed.
Oh, I only stab people who deserve it, so...
All right. Well, let's hope everybody keeps up with that same sensibility. Well, I would say I'd be going out, but he gestures over to the bag of 40 gold that Jen had given last night and says, well, I think I've earned a day off today, so...
Absolutely.
Hey,
maybe-
hey, Kaylee, can you move a little closer to the mic?
Yeah.
You're very quiet.
Yeah. You just sit in the middle, you should be good. Yep, perfect. So he says, maybe I'll head down to the shops, maybe get some, I don't know, some dried beef or something, spice up the diet.
We should actually also go to the shops, or at least a blacksmith or something along those lines.
Well,
I'd like to possibly see about some gunpowder.
Well, the Spiked Javelin Marketplace, it's on the other side of town, but if you're looking for any weapons or anything like that, that'd probably be your best bet.
Perfect.
All right, and so he says, "Oh, before we go," he walks over and his staff is leaning up next to the door. He walks over, kind of grips it, kind of mutters to himself a little bit, and similar to last night, a key starts growing out of the wood. He takes it, snaps it off, and hands it to you, Jen. He said, "Just in case you guys need another place to stay, and I'm out and about, so
Thank you.
just be careful. It's kind of a pain to have to make another one, so."
Just Sprout. Whatever you think about at the moment.
Well, it depends. I mean, most of the time I'm only thinking about my safety and security. I've not tried to really think of anything else, but it does end up having to be wood related. So, I guess, if I was feeling kind of, on the wild side, and he stops and thinks, starts muttering to himself, and a spoon comes out, snaps. Ha! Still got it.
That's super handy.
It is, it's, one last memento I was able to take before I left home, so. It's helped me out in many ways, this old staff. Well, I suppose you should be getting started on your day. I think I might start off with a nice book. I haven't read in a while. He starts, hobbling over to this little bookshelf over by the kitchen area.
Enjoy.
I will. You, stay safe out there, folks.
We'll try.
Yes.
Out of character?
Yes.
Isn't he blind?
He has cataracts.
He has cataracts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
He
guys
was begging
inferred...
like he was blind.
You
but
guys
once we got
inferred
into
that he
his
was
house,
blind.
Yeah.
You inferred he was blind because he had cloudy eyes.
Yeah.
You never really asked him.
It could be Braille. You never know.
It seems like that's how he
90% sure you said he was blind.
I
He
might
gave
have.
the impression.
I might have.
Yeah, he gave the impression he was
I
blind
have
when
it
we
written
first
down.
got up to him. But then once we got inside his house, he made it clear that he could see enough to get around.
Okay.
So he probably uses that to beg. The
No.
blind beggar. Hey,
I know, man.
that's not much.
Come on now. All right, so you guys make your way out. You head back down the alleyway, back towards the streets. Okay, change the music up a bit here. There we go. All right, and very similar to. That is playing, right? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit for. There we go. Oh, it's quiet. Yep. So you make your way out, and very similar to what you noticed yesterday. There's a lot of foot traffic. I mean, at this point, it's like after breakfast time, so we're looking at like 8, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. So you see people, bustling about. Still that unnerving amount of cleanliness, and I mean you hear people talking, but it's subtle, subdued tones, quiet conversations. And so you start making your way across town.
Once we get into the shop area.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So with Furan, and you kind of gather this as you're walking along. In Furan, there was a large city center, a large city square that had the statue in the middle where, people could kind of hustle and bustle about, that had the food carts in it and stuff like that. As you're walking along Moore, in the streets of Moore, there's not really a city center. It's just streets and alleyways. So there's not really a shop, quote unquote, like a true shop district or like a restaurant district. It's, random shop, random restaurant, random house, random shop, random house.
Yeah, so it's like the streets of London.
Yeah, a bit. So, and let's see here. Where's the measurement?
Are there
Okay.
werewolves there?
You'd have to find out.
Okay.
Let's see.
If we get to an area that it's like a crossroads, in between the crossroads, and there's like a bunch of bustling people there.
Okay. So let's see here. So it's going to take you, so it's about 2, all right, so I'm trying to do some quick math here. All right, so you're heading, where are you guys heading off? I should ask this first. Where are you guys heading off to?
Garrison,
I would say the garrison.
Garrison?
Yeah.
Or the blacksmith. You said you wanted to go to the blacksmith.
Yeah, the garrison first, though.
Well, we can do that at
Okay.
whatever.
Well, luckily,
Okay.
And luckily, yeah, and on every like street corner and stuff like that, there are like rudimentary signs that have like big landmarks marked on them. But otherwise, you kind of have to be from the city to know if you're looking for like a specific type of shop. And luckily, the primary. Oh wait, hold on. Let me make sure that. Oh, that's the primary dormitories. Okay, so the primary garrison office is probably like. Let's see here. 200 meters, about 600 feet. So about like 900,000 feet away. So it's a brisk walk, but nothing that's going to take like all day or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so about halfway there, you do come across what appears to be a fairly major, kind of like a Y intersection. Because I'm guessing you guys have been staying on the main path as opposed to trying to duck through alleyways and stuff like that.
Unless someone in our party has that City Secrets feature, probably yes.
Okay.
I don't think I do.
It's Urchin.
I
Yeah, I don't have that
do
one.
not.
Yeah. Yeah. So you walked out of the alleyway to Birchar's studio apartment, basically. And you do walk, and you do get to a fairly large, like, Y intersection. That's about halfway between his office, his house, and the primary garrison office.
Okay, perfect. everybody's walking up, I'm gonna go walk right into the center of the square, just kind of take a quick look around, see if there's like a large, great amount of people around and everything. And going to keep walking, all of a sudden hit an invisible wall and fall backwards.
So I'm gonna stop and be like,
I'm just gonna lay down on the ground and kind of stand up for a second, brush myself off, and gonna walk ahead again.
Okay.
Take a step back, running start into it, hit the ground again.
Okay.
Grab a rope, pull myself back up.
performance!
Okay. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna need a performance.
To zap him, please.
Okay.
All right. So you get a performance check. I will say unless somebody wants to help him, then you would go at disadvantage because this is your first time miming.
I'm gonna say Kira probably didn't even notice and just
Yeah.
kept walking.
I just stood there bemused.
Oh,
If it's a 1, you can reroll it.
it's not a one.
Oh.
It's
Is
the
it two?
it's the worst thing.
Neither one of them were good, but that's okay. Say I'm gonna be wonderful. So disadvantage, 14.
14? I mean, it's your little. The hand gestures aren't 100% crisp as opposed to somebody that's been doing it their whole lives, but you're getting a pretty good gist of it. And you are noticing that there's some people that are kind of like walking, and with your 20 passive perception, you hear a lot of like, okay, weirdo, and keep walking. There is at one point a small family, like a single mom with like 3 or 4 kids, and the kids kind of stop and be like, "Mama, look!" She's like, "Oh, okay. I guess we don't have to. Sure, we can stand and look at the funny man. That's fine." So at this point, you have a crowd of like 3 or 4 elven kids between the ages of like 4 and 9 that are watching you mime.
Perfect. Okay, and I mean, once the performance is over with and everything, I'm gonna take out one of my funny little hats out of my pack and kind of put it on my head and just gonna just keep walking back to the rest of my crew.
They're like, "Oh, he's so good! Yay! Mama, can we give him something?" And she's like patting down her jacket, and he's like,
I'm gonna
"All
walk over to her. I'm going to grab her by the hand that she's like patting around with and go.
right."
I'm just gonna keep going.
And then she grabs the kids and takes off.
You freaked him out, Flynn.
But Mama, no, he was funny, not now. And they keep walking on their way.
It's probably for the best.
So-
You don't have the best experience with kids.
Question: You said
Clancy off the top
elven
rope.
children. Have we seen any other races aside from what's his face? Birchar?
Birchar.
Or are they mostly just elven?
It is okay. Give me a perception check.
I'll help with that too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. It's better you do it than me.
I don't know. Your passive is
We'll
like
see.
16, isn't it?
My passive perception is 19 now.
Oh, jeez.
You and I can't.
Mine is not.
Mine is not that.
That'll be an 11,
Would you like
which
to?
is actually worse than my passive.
Would you like
Is
to
that with
bump that up
advantage?
to that was with advantage?
With advantage.
Yikes.
Yeah. I rolled an
Would you
8.
like to bump that up to a 15, perhaps? Do you have the option to?
I don't want to. Not to a 15. I only have 2 hero points.
Okay. All right. I will be
So
a
I could
kind
get, I
of.
could get to a
All right. How about
13,
this? Kind of
which is my
benevolent god.
passive.
Yeah. How about a kind benevolent god? I will let you use those 2 hero points if you want to your passive to get up to 15.
Okay.
Because I am a kind and benevolent god.
Yeah. Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeet.
You just
So
took away all my hero points.
I haven't got anyone.
so
I'm
you.
a kind and benevolent god. You're not a hero anymore. You suck.
It's all good. So
You
I
can
will
say
say
no.
I'm sure you won't need those later.
that'll be fine. It'll be fine. Making note. Okay. So there have been other races you've noticed. So you've seen, a handful of dwarves, handful of dragonborn, but it does seem like a majority of the people you've seen have been elves.
Okay.
Spell dwarves, apparently.
Well, dwarves,
Does it
dragonborn,
seem-
like just as an example of you've seen a little bit of some of the other races, but a majority of the people you've seen so far have been elves, including all of the guards at the garrison gates. Were all elves.
Yeah, because I remember you had said that.
Yeah.
With that, can we tell with my 15? Would we be able to tell if the elves versus other races that we've seen, like, does it seem like the other races are just travelers? Like, do they seem more worn, or
For the non-elven races, it's kind of split. So, like, you've noticed
Okay.
some that are clearly, like, they're wearing traveler's garbs and, like, looking at street signs and stuff like that to try to figure out where to go. And then there's others that are, like, clearly walking, knowing exactly where they're needing to go, like they live there.
Okay.
What you have noticed is that a vast majority of the elves you've noticed definitely look like they've lived there. Definitely look
Okay.
and give that vibe that they live there.
Okay.
So you're getting the feeling based on all of your observations and all of her perception check, all of your passive perceptions, is that it's not 100% elven population, but it's hard to tell without walking around the whole city at this point, but it feels like a vast majority
Okay.
is elven.
I have a general question that I meant to ask at the last session.
Sure.
We have 3 halflings in our party. I
Mhm.
get the impression that halflings are actually really rare. Is that true?
That would be correct based on what's happened so far. Halflings are an exceedingly rare race.
Okay.
Cool. So Flynn, I'm guessing after that event with the family, do you keep going or do you kind of?
I'm just doing the same thing as I had done before.
Okay.
I'm miming it, but I'm getting my name out there.
Okay. All right. So after a while, you have some people kind of do the same thing. They stop. They watch for a little bit. Some of them chuckle. They'll throw you a couple silver here or there. But after a few minutes, like not long at all, you do a patrol of garrison troops does walk up to you, and one of them does say, "Excuse me, sir. Do you have a permit to be street performing at this time?"
I nudge you, and I nudge you to stop. I'm sorry, we didn't. He's not trying to perform. He's just being silly as we're walking to the garrison. Sorry.
All the
I'm gonna hold up
same,
my bags.
if anybody wishes to do any street performing for an extended period of time, a permit will be required. You can apply for one at either garrison office, either this one, the one over in Old Town, or the one over by Cotton Rock in the Cotton Rock district. But it will need to be reviewed and approved before any street performing can go forward. This will be your only warning.
Gotcha.
All right.
Where exactly is the garrison?
So what we call the primary office. Oh, geez. The primary office is points down the road down that way, and then you hang a left on the street there. There is a secondary garrison office that is on the other side. On the other side of the city, you can follow the signs to that one if you wish.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, once again, if you plan on doing A Street performing, that is fine. Just make sure you do it with the proper permits. Alright, and they keep marching.
Well, they seem lovely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
I'm gonna make
That's
like
a wood.
I'm gonna look at everybody and make it look like I just picked up a stick and shove it up my butt, and I'm gonna start marching.
Oh, come. Then, I think this is a bit what we were trying to explain, that it seems like
Guards
that's
to have
probably
to.
a common theme around here, and it's best if we kind of downplay stuff.
Agreed. Save it for a performing stage.
Guess we're gonna have to wait a while to pull it out, huh?
So what am I supposed to do with myself?
Just try not to
Let
get in
exist.
trouble.
I'm a
Well, here and more, you're garrison representative from Furon.
guess here they already have more. They don't want.
Nope.
Alright, so you make your way down the streets, following the directions that the garrison guard had given you, and eventually you do come to a large building that has metal grates over windows on the first and second and third floors, and a large oak door that is inladen with more iron and stuff like that. The double doors at this point are open, and you do see two garrison guards dragging an individual into the building. And you're not at the door yet. You're kind of seeing this from around the corner, so you're like 20-30 feet away.
I guess this is the jail too.
Or the place.
Do we
Yeah.
recognize the person they're dragging?
Hard to tell. If you want to roll a perception check to kind of see if you can get a good look on
do
him.
it.
All right.
Let's try this again, shall we?
I get to reroll that.
Did you roll a one?
Yes.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Halfway.
That would be another 13. I'm gonna stop doing perception checks now.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Morag, it didn't look like anybody you recognized. Flynn, with your 20, you definitely didn't recognize him.
Oh, so I just didn't recognize him. He definitely.
Well, you were like, you were like,
20.
yeah, it doesn't look like anyone I know, but they're like 20-30 feet away. I only caught like this brief glimpse. I'm pretty sure it's not, and it's like, yeah, he's definitely like, yeah, I don't know them.
He had a face.
Okay.
I know people with a face.
Yeah. All right, so you guys walk your way up. You get to the front doors, and you kind of see once again there is an attendant behind once again a large oak desk, and unlike the main front desk at the garrison in Furon, this one has giant wrought iron bars, and the guard standing behind it. And he says, "Yeah, take him up to the third floor. We'll get him processed here in a little bit." And you see them kind of drag this individual down and around the corner from the desk down a hallway. And the garrison troop behind the desk goes back to filling out some paperwork that looked like he'd been working on.
What race is the guy they're dragging?
The guy they're dragging? He was a human.
It's time to take notes.
Kira's gonna walk up to the desk and say, what's he in for?
Trooper looks around, and looks down. Looks around, looks down at you, sees the rest of you, and says, he is in for committing a crime. Is there anything I can help you folks with today?
What crime?
A crime that required him to be thrown into prison. Is there anything I can help you folks with today?
In the party,
How long?
it would be like, whew, what a warm reception.
Where is the
We need to speak with Commander Theron.
Commander Theron?
I'm gonna flash my badge and look important.
Yeah, Kira's gonna show hers as well.
Yeah. And don't we have a
Ron,
letter
get
from
us some
Iceland?
business from Furon.
I don't think. I mean, we have a general letter, but I don't.
Whoop.
Oh,
We lost a person.
Oh.
Rip.
Ah!
We're all goofy. Give us a sec, folks. There we go.
There she is.
There we go.
And we're back. So, all right, so the trooper kind of looks you all over and says, oh, you must be consultants then. I will go see if Commander Theron is available at the moment. Please wait here until I get back. And he...
I'm gonna do the Kira salute.
Kaylee, you're invisible.
I said I needed to cover my camera for a minute. I'm still here.
Oh,
I did the
okay.
Kira salute.
Okay,
The 2-finger salute.
there we go. All right. And he
I like that. That's the Kira salute.
and he closes the book, kind of slides it underneath the top part of the desk, walks out, opens the door behind him, closes it, locks it, and you see him go down the hallway.
I was hoping to snoop a little.
Boy, these guys seem about as warm as a wet blanket.
Well, they're also very security conscious. That little bit with the book and everything, like I'm gonna have time to pick that lock. I was hoping to at least get a glimpse at the front page.
A little bit.
How stealthy could you be?
A little bit more than Furon.
I mean, I can be pretty stealthy, but it still takes time to pick a lock, so...
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a really great way to make a good impression.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be racist without being a dick.
Can you, though?
Not sure how that works. I'm not sure that you can.
So.
Well, we just came from Furon. They were a little bit racist, but now these people are racist.
I think they
God,
were
that
in
reminds me
Hawaii.
of, what is that? Avenue Q? Everyone's a
little bit
racist.
Sometimes.
There we go.
That's actually where my head
Connie
was
and I
going.
saw that together.
We did.
Amazing.
So much fun. That was a fun show
It
for
was a
sure.
blast. My favorite thing, this is completely off topic, but my favorite thing about us seeing Avenue Q in Cincinnati, Ohio, is that half the audience left at intermission.
Yep. Because it was all
Oh
like
my god.
it was all older boomer couples that were like
Oh my god, they
cashing
didn't know
in
what they
their
were getting in for?
yeah they
It was like a
they were getting their
matinee on a
season
Saturday
ticket
or something.
yeah and they were using their like season pass or whatever yearly pass.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It was great.
Yeah,
Bro.
it was
Speaking of
hilarious.
people not knowing what they're getting into, all of these people who are bringing their like 4, 5, 6-year-old kids to the
Yeah.
Barbie movie.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
we had a 7-year-old sitting right in front of us.
Oh god.
Did not
Yeah.
get it. Jess and I were the only
Lily went
people
with
laughing in the whole
adult
theater.
friends.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
it's not
Everybody else was like, I
it's
immediately
more
regret
serious.
everything.
Yep.
yeah, young adult.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
not.
it's not
It's
like
PG-13.
nasty or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. No, my mature 14-year-old went with a group of our very young adult friends to see it. It was
I'm
and
like,
they
wait
had
a
a
second,
you
what did we just send our kid to go see?
Yeah, no, it's
I
fine.
know.
It's
It's
fine.
not for little kids.
But it's not
Yeah.
for it's not for like
Well, it's 'cause
Barbie
they thought
playing
Barbie.
age kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's not
Anyway,
the party.
sorry
Alright.
to derail the
No,
conversation.
you're fine. You're fine. I started it, so I own that.
But we
So,
can get back.
so after a few minutes, the trooper does come back and says, "Well, Commander Theron is available now, so and at this point he didn't go back into the main area, into the behind the desk. He's out with you. So he points down. He says, "If you go down to the end of the hallway, take the stairs. His office is up on the 3rd floor. So you go up there. It'll be his office will be the only office that isn't a jail cell. So
All right.
Duly noted. Thank you. And I'm just gonna walk on.
No problem at all.
Same.
And he goes back, unlocks, unlocks the door, go back in, goes back to working on his book. So,
Point of question: does he lock the door behind him, or is it only locked when he's not there?
he didn't. You noticed with your 19 passive deception. 19 passive deception would be a terrible thing.
Wow.
That would be
It might be.
terrible.
That really, really would.
That's
It would be
amazing.
fun as hell, but terrible. Ooh, that's a ooh.
Write that
Ooh.
down. I
That's-
like it.
That's got a
Yeah.
cool idea.
Someone was telling me that any skill can be passive. It's 10 plus your modifier
Yeah.
to that skill.
And that's once again, it's the same thing with like perception. If you're
Yeah,
not
that's like that'd be like a homebrew. That'd be like a homebrew rule. That I kind of dig that actually. That's cool. It's a cool idea.
Kind of fun.
So anyway, so with your 19 passive perception, you notice he did not lock the door behind him.
Okay.
So you put 2 plus 2 equals. He probably only locks it. It's probably only locked when
When he's not
nobody's
there.
in there. When nobody's in there.
Yep.
So. Yep. So you guys make your way down, and the first hallway is pretty quiet. When you're walking down the hallway, it's pretty quiet. You peek into some doors that are open, and you see like armory. So like one room has a bunch of swords and shields. Another one has a bunch of bows and arrows and quivers and stuff like that. Another room's like a storage closet, so it has like cleaning supplies, stuff like that. As you get to the end of the stairs, or end of the hallway, and you start making your way up, you do get as you get to the second floor, because it's not it's not a long stairwell or anything like that. As you walk past the second floor, you do notice, I mean, it's loud enough for all of you to hear. You do hear thumps that definitely sound like somebody getting hit.
From the office?
This is the second floor. So you guys take a peek down, and the second floor looks like mostly jail cells.
What kind of place is this?
I think
Okay.
they're very up on the capital punishment and little harsh interrogation.
I feel like we're back in the Dragon's Claw.
Can we
Yeah,
sit down
well,
in
it
the morning
reminds
and
me
let
of
the cell door
certain
open?
aspects of the Thieves Guild. Did you say, Flynn?
Can we see down the hallway? Is there like one of the cell doors open or something, and somebody's like in there beating them?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
very quiet.
what you notice, because the door to the second floor is there's a door, another wrought iron door that's locked. You can see through it. You can't see you see that there's most of them are closed. There's one door that's open that's kind of in the middle of the hallway, because there's about 16 doors, 8 on each side you count. And you notice one of the doors in kind of the middle of the hallway is open, and the rest of them appear to be closed. The ones that you can see.
Okay.
So you'd have to get in through the door and then walk down the hallway a bit, as opposed to just being able to peek your head into the door right next to the stairwell.
Just in a passing glance,
Yeah.
if I could see where it was coming from.
Yeah, and like I said, you notice in the middle of the hallway, one of the doors is open. So, you guys make your way up to the third floor. The third floor is quiet. You do notice a couple guards walking around with a cart with a food tray that appear to be passing out breakfast or something like that.
At least they get fed.
Yes.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a thing. Nah, I'm good.
It's I could almost hear the gears turning. I was
I
waiting
know,
for the
right?
smoke to start popping out of your ear.
Dude, thinking is hard these days.
Yeah. So you notice, okay, so when you get to the top of the stairwell, there is once again, another large oak door that's next to the wrought iron door that goes down the hallway. So you kind of infer that that's the office door that the guard downstairs was talking about.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
All right. And you hear a voice from inside. Please
Whoever says go away.
go away.
Go
Go.
Go away. You hear a please come in. And you open the door.
For you.
And sitting behind, once again, a large oak desk, is an elderly elven male. He estimates, based on your guys' experience with talking to elves and stuff like that, ballparking like
estimate.
400, 500 years old.
Ballpark, old as fuck.
Ballpark old as F.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for clarifying.
Let's say
no.
you have 8
Run.
more.
Yeah,
You have 8 more.
8 more. You said the one before stream didn't count.
You get 9
one
per
was
stream.
so
Now you
bad.
have
Oh,
8 left.
I thought I get
Yeah.
10. I thought I got 10. My bad.
No.
Okay. That was worth it.
Trying to steal one.
That was worth it. So, the gentleman before you, sitting behind this desk, he's not rail thin, but he is definitely slender. His hair is starting to whiten, and it flows down to, like, a little bit past his shoulders. Perfectly brushed, not a single strand out of place. And he's sitting there, fingers crossed, very well manicured fingers, clean shaven. And you notice, on this, you notice on his desk, everything is neatly stacked and organized. There's even like a special spot where like a quill and an ink well are everything perfectly in order. Behind him is a long rapier which gleams with a silvery tint. And he looks at you and says, "Ah, you must be the consultants that Officer Iadov spoke of. I am Garrison Commander Theron. What, are you the representatives from Furan that was foretold to me that you were coming?"
Of course. We're really nobody.
Yes. That
Nobody's, you say?
Icewind sent us. Oh god.
Interesting name for yourselves.
It's a long story.
Well, I am but a humble public servant, but I hope that any information you can gather while you're here, and any questions you may have for me, may help us keep our wonderful country safe and secure from these rapscallions. He gestures for you to all have a seat.
I take it they're all normal height chairs.
As we're sitting, I want to go ahead and say, about that, what could you tell us about your recent being attacked, assassination attempt?
It was a horrible ordeal, one I am lucky to have survived. We were doing and I'll tell and you also notice on his desk the same smallish to medium-sized gem that was on Icewind's desk. That is currently glowing red. Yeah. Conference call. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Icewind, you're muted. I swear you're muted.
You're muted.
Oh no! Oh man! I wish I was amazing at video editing because I would totally do a video of a D&D conference call.
Oh my god, yes!
That would be amazing.
Alright, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
I can only see your nose.
Can you see
You're
it?
zoomed
Can you
in.
see-
Sharing now.
Can you
Hold
see?
on,
Can you share my screen?
Okay.
Jen, your camera's sideways. Hold on. Let me drop off and then come back on.
Oh, okay. I think I finally got this video figured out. So if you look at the recent document.
God. Oh, I love it. You can tell we've all been in way too many Zoom
A
calls.
few of us have been in way too many. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
Well, since we're being all goofy for a minute, let's go ahead and take our break here. Go check out some clips, and we will be back in approximately 10 minutes. So, see you in a minute. Yeah, oh, what?
We also had a couple of subs. Thank you, subs, right?
Oh,
I know
okay.
since Claire can't
Yep,
let you know.
we'll go over that. We can absolutely cover that when we get back. So, thank you to
Okay.
the subs, and we'll
Okay,
give you a
sorry.
special... No, it's fine. Thank you, subs, and then we'll give you a special shout-out when we get back, so... Alright, see you in a bit.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us
I do.
friends?
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Alright.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so.
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right, we were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your car.
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down
a-
the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey, that's
mutt.
the dog. That's the dog.
Well,
He
thank you for telling me, Tasha.
Hear that, my knife.
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. No, start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
that must
God.
be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red. This is my happy vein. My happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, "Impressive. So happy."
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so.
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey, that's the dog. That's the dog.
Well, thank you for telling me. Ta-ta! Cheered on my
He
knife.
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes. Because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles his
he's
shirt
wearing
and pulls it
it?
out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start
Now this goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord. Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
Is that in character?
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seemed to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
thing
bad.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You got a tongue in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging.
made
Hey! And I unmuted myself before I said my hey, so you didn't hear.
Oh,
Hey.
Look at you.
You know what? That's worth.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, he doesn't get it back.
What was that, Claire?
Never mind. Actually,
Okay, that's ominous.
Take it
A
back.
little bit.
So before we get back into it, I just want to plug. I know we plugged it before at the beginning of the stream. I just want to plug once again hexwoodcreations.com. I am actually on the shop right now, and there is some killer product on here. It's some very cool stuff. So definitely go check it out.
but Tony, for actually not being muted, you get your pun back.
Yeah, let's go, dude. Well, it's because for some reason my microphone is on every scene, so I have to remember to click the microphone off on that scene instead of, and before I just go in and delete it later on. I'll fix all that now. But for right now, I was like, I had to fix that. Anyway, no one cares about that. No one cares about that. No one cares about that.
Good.
So we left off. Morag had asked Commander Theron about his experience, and he takes a moment to gather himself. You see him kind of clutch his side, looked like almost instinctively. He says, "Oh yes, it was a horrible experience. The troops and I, we were doing our rounds, especially with the day's festivities going on in honor of the anniversary of the revolution. We were doing our rounds just to make sure that there weren't any overly excited or folks causing too much of a ruckus. So we were patrolling down by the docks when all of a sudden there were about 3 or 4 of these individuals in these. It was odd. They were robes, but they didn't quite go down to the knees. That jumped out of the water from the docks and attacked us. He looks, realizing what his hand has done, and kind of moves it back onto the desk, fingers folded. I had been attacked and sustained a wound. Luckily, it was not life-threatening. And as the same with my troops, all of them did fine. We were able to fend off this horrific attack. But before we could get reinforcements could come to capture them, they dove back into the water. It seemed to disappear. After
Did they have tattoos on their faces?
yes, they appeared to have tattoos on their faces. And we had rung the bell for reinforcements, but before the reinforcements could get there, they had jumped back into the water. Now, luckily, because of the state the troops were in, and myself, the reinforcements went into the water to go after them. But they could not find any. They could not find any trace of them. And then we rang the alarm bell across the city, and we put the city into a citywide lockdown. And we continued to scour the docks and the waterfront, but to no avail could we find either them or any trace of any kind of escape. So, and it was while we were doing that search that I found out about the attack on the governor, which was another horrific incident. But yes, they seemed to move, the assailants, and seemed to move very quickly. Some of them almost as if jumping in and out of shadows. Ethereal, practically. And for all the damage they did to us, we were not able to seemingly catch them in a point to harm them in any way. And he looks down at his side again. I'm very fortunate to have made it out with my life, but I fear that, if I had not had my troops with me, that I would be gone.
They dove into the water and disappeared.
It seemed so, yes. Now, there was a few moments between when they dove in the water and when the group of reinforcements came, and like I said, myself and my troops I was with were too exhausted to chase after them. So the reinforcements dove in after them, but, they were not able to find any trace of them. Though granted, as I said, there were a handful of moments afterwards, and the troops we do not spend a lot of time on water training and proper water movement and whatnot.
Why would you? It seems awfully fishy.
Stone-faced.
Oh, look at these attackers, like more than just the face tattoos. Did you get any other identifying features? Tall, short, hair color, eye color, symbols on the robes, other clothes underneath?
Most of them, the ones that were there were wearing masks pretty much up to their nose, so we couldn't quite make out any. Couldn't quite make out any discernible distinction besides part of a face tattoo, and eye color. There were a lot of they had all different color eyes. One of them, I never forget this, had these piercing red eyes. Shakes himself for a minute. Quite horrifying.
Normal colored skin though?
Yeah, yes,
Like
yes.
flesh colored?
Yes, flesh colored. There weren't any different colorations of the skin or anything like that. And as for markings on the clothing, I believe I caught one of them with a, one of them looked like to have some kind of symbol of, like, the old Lionheart family emblem, except it wasn't the one that was around for most of their existence. He's like, as you can see, I've been around for quite some time, and I remember the olden days. And the symbol looked very similar to the old family crest before it was redrawn or redesigned or what have you with it.
How old are we talking?
The symbol was at least 200 or 300 years old. Now you came recommended from Commander Icewind in Furon. I tell ya, he he and I go back a bit. He's a good man. So even though, I often am leery of, conscripts and consultants. Consultants. Because of the reputation with which they usually get said position and privilege. The fact that Commander Icewind recommended you and told me the kind of work that you had done in his city. I have faith that you'll be able to uncover things quicker than what we've been able to uncover at this point.
Question for the DM. Does
Yes.
the red... Also, to give your voice a little bit of a break, does the red eyes sound familiar to me?
No. Well,
Like,
let me take that back.
Heard...
You are, kind of like with the face tattoo thing, some of them would like augment eye color through magic and stuff like that to make themselves look fiercer maybe, but it's not like, oh, that guy, that Fred with the creepy ass eyes, I remember him.
Oh yeah,
it's
George.
Yeah.
George, yeah, no.
George.
Definitely.
Oh, George.
Yeah.
It seems like a George, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering because either if they would augment their eyes or if I had heard of someone of that level that had red eyes like that.
It was something some of them did, but yeah.
Was it like a permanent thing when they did it, or was it like changing your hair color? Like
kind of like that, yeah. Most of the time they stuck with the same color. Sometimes they would tweak it if they were like in a mood.
Okay.
And also remember, they may not always be former Thieves Guild members, but from what you learned from Ryo,
no,
that was for you, D.
Thank you.
Because that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but since I know at least some of them must be because of what Ryo said.
Yeah. And also remember, you don't know, some of them might have gotten caught on a job and be dead or thrown in jail and stuff like that. So
true.
You knew it was a thing, but I said once again, it's not like, oh, Fred or George in this case, George with the creepy ass eyes. I remember him.
When we were questioning people before, those people had run up to the wall and just like cast a portal and then just. Is there a large flash when that happened?
You never asked. If someone would like to perform an Arcana check, someone that is proficient in Arcana, perhaps.
It's not Kira.
Let's go.
Not me.
Maybe the spellcaster of the group. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I said let's go for it.
Let's go.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm just gonna be like, you wouldn't happen to know anything about magic.
Magic, heavens to Betsy. Let me know what you get, Claire.
I'm gonna use my cat dice.
That was weird. I'm sorry about that. Nope.
Why?
Nope.
Why?
Is there
21.
Is there unclipping that can happen? Can we declip?
You can't rewind real life.
Please clip that.
No, please don't. Please don't.
21.
21, you know from when you were growing up and you were going through your spellcasting classes that it really depends on how much control that the magic user has. The quieter it is, the less likely it is to make a big commotion.
Did you do anything in the water after they jumped in? Was there anything unusual?
No, we were attending to the troops and they were attending to me, but we didn't notice any loud flashes or bangs or anything like that of the sort.
were there like new ships that had arrived? I suppose probably because of the festival. Or is there an arbor master we could talk to maybe who would know a little bit more about comings and goings down at the dock, perhaps?
Yes, absolutely. We do have ourselves a harbor master. You'd be looking for Harbor Master Vamir. They tend to they have an office down by the docks. You can absolutely go in and check in with them regarding comings and goings to answer your question. We tended to especially for big events like the festivities we had going on the day of the anniversary, we tend to restrict boat access, access to the harbor to make sure that only authorized, repeat ships could come in and out. But to get a more detailed information about that, you'd have to go speak with Harbor Master Vamir. They would be the best one to speak to about that.
I know we've got our badges and letter from Icewind, but would you be able to write us a letter that we're investigating around more with your approval, in case we get questions?
My troops shouldn't be questioning you if you're doing garrison work, a garrison investigation. You shouldn't run into any trouble with the troops.
So just the badges should be fine?
I would think so. I mean, as long as, you aren't going around doing, shaking people down or anything nefarious like that. Anything that would cause, your actions to be questioned.
So I've just found sometimes official approval from someone in authority helps. People tend to talk a little easier.
Maybe check in with the governor as well. I'm just curious while we're still here. Did you happen to have someone that knows a bit about magic? Maybe check out the area you were in when it happened.
Well, unfortunately, one of the stronger magic users in our city was the governor's scribe, and unfortunately, he was the one that passed away while trying to defend her. We've not been. I know she has been, interviewing and reviewing for a replacement. So maybe you might be able to get a list for her of potential replacements, which means, which would be, some of the more stronger magic users in the city. But unfortunately, I've not been privy to that information because Governor Adnellis, this is something that she is taking. She's handling herself.
I'm just going to kind of look over. I'm just going to kind of back away, and as everyone else is kind of talking to him, I'm just kind of go under my breath. How long does residue from magic? Do you know?
I did not hear that at all.
No, can you lean towards the mic?
Lean towards the mic. You don't need to do that.
That's my move.
This isn't ASMR. Calm down.
That's
how long does residue from typically last?
You asking Clancy that?
Residue from...
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Clancy?
What are you asking me? My brain was lost in Jeff romancing the harbor master.
How long does I'm just like leaning over and just kind of talking to you under my breath, and hey, how long does residue like magic typically last after you use something? How long will it last? Would someone be able to tell that you would use magic?
I mean, it depends on the spell. I mean, you can usually just
Something
find
that
traces of the magic there, as long as it's been pretty recent. But
And this is
I would
how
assume
long-
stronger spells would last a little bit longer, off the top of my head. I mean, I didn't spend much time in magic classes or anything, but
I skipped that day of French.
Basically.
All right, so maybe we could take a look at it. Maybe there's like some burn marks or something. Another portal to use.
Going back to the inquiry you had, Kira, about the letter, he says, well, if you are that concerned about it, I could write up a quick note here giving you, confirming that what Commander Icewind had said, that you have, that you are under direction of the commanders of the Starhel garrison to conduct this investigation. If you said Commander Icewind has given you a letter already as well,
It's not. It's more of our official status of consultants, not specifically giving authority in this particular investigation. So I just noticed that a lot of people seem to be very. There's a lot of everybody's very by the book.
Yes.
And while they should respect the badge, I know sometimes people prefer word of their own commander rather than that of a commander they don't know.
I can appreciate that. Sure, absolutely. And he reaches over, grabs a blank sheet of paper, pulls his inkwell over, just writes up a quick note. After he's done,
I didn't go into work today.
Dog ate my homework. So he finishes up, puts the inkwell back, pulls out a drawer from underneath his desk, takes out like a wax, like a wax thing, smacks it on there, grabs a small little torch candle thing, lights the end of a stamper, puts it all back, hands the note to you, Kira, and says, this should provide, if anyone questions your actions or activities in the city, feel free to refer them to this note. Should they give you any more grief, make sure you take down name and rank and refer them back to me. It will be dealt with in a swift manner.
Thanks.
Well, as you said, keeping our city safe and secure is my job. And if we have soldiers that harass other soldiers when they are doing their job, keeping people safe and secure, well, we can't have that.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Is there any other questions or concerns that I could help you with?
Could you point us in the direction of the governors?
Yes. And he kind of takes out. What he does is he actually takes out a sheet of paper and sketches out a quick map of the city, and just you are here, take this street here, kind of thing. Hands it to you and says, you should be able to follow the signs. We do keep the larger landmarked areas on signs. I'm sure you saw them on your travels here, but this map should be able to help you get in the right direction should you get turned around. I do know as many as there are, for all the wonderful things about our great city of Moore, I do know that you can get turned around quite easily. especially if you start traveling down the back alleys and side streets.
Sounds simple enough.
Okay.
Well,
Nice meeting you.
Yes, the pleasure was mine. I wish you luck in your investigation, and please keep me apprised of any new developments.
Will do. Also, before we leave, would you be able to any information that we give you? Would you be able to get that back to Furon with Icewind?
Oh, absolutely. We don't do the daily communication like we had been right after the incidents, but we are still keeping up with communicating with each other with any new developments we may find. So I can absolutely pass along any investigations you find out, not only to Commander Icewind, but all the other garrison commanders, to see if anything you may find here may connect with something that's found somewhere else.
Even better, as long as that information's getting out to them.
Yes.
That reminds me, we have a few others doing some other investigation for us, asking around, and we've told them that they can leave word with any of the garrisons to get it to us. So just as a heads up.
Well, if they are other consultants such as yourselves, they can feel free to pop into any of the garrison offices, either one of the garrison offices, and leave a note. Are they other consultants?
Some of them are private citizens.
Oh.
Friends and such.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then if you plan on staying at either one of the dormitories, they may absolutely leave a note with any of the dormitory front desks. Or you may also they may also stop into the office of the Starhel Chronicle. There are a couple offices in town, and they also will take personal messages down for individuals.
To know.
Oh, I wish you luck on your investigation. I'm sorry, good sir. Was there something you wanted to ask?
Oh, no. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. I'm just gonna start shaking his hand. I'm just gonna start shaking it all over the place. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. We're gonna go and we're gonna get this done. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna say hi to the governor.
And he stops your hand, kind of takes your hand off of his hand slowly. Yes, thank you.
You have yourself a good day, sir. I'm just gonna march right out.
All right.
Before we go any further, I forgot to remind you, Tony, that we had some subs in the first house.
Oh, dang!
At the end.
Yep.
I know we don't normally interrupt, but I just remembered that we didn't.
No. I appreciate you. All right.
It seemed like a good stopping point, or at least pausing point.
It did, yep. So, this is a good spot. I appreciate you calling it out. So, we have a sub from Rosie Boo Bear. 6 months. So, shout out to you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Did I miss any other ones besides that one?
I think Rosie might have been. I think I did when we first started too.
Mother Nerdlings! And subscribe for 9 months! Hashtag I love us.
Okay. That's all.
Okay. I appreciate you. So, shout out to Rosie Boo Bear. You are the most cuddly of bears. I guess. I don't know.
The rosiest of bears.
Or rosiest
and the
of bears.
Of bears.
Boo Bear. There we go. All right. So, you all right, so you make your way. All right, so out of the office, making your way. At this point, it's probably 11Z's.
It's time for food.
You can't say that word to halflings? What the heck is wrong with you?
It absolutely is time for 11Z's.
Afternoon tea.
Is there a cafeteria in the garrison, like there is at Furon?
Not at this one that you noticed.
Do elves not eat?
What? Hey.
What was that?
You might have to grab something on the way from a cart of something. I know. It's just we're kind of not in a rush, but kind of in a rush because we got a lot of places to go.
I think I've still got a waffle.
It's a very stale waffle.
That's probably just
I have 2 meat pies. Here, you can have one.
Thanks. Oh god. How long have those been in there?
Yesterday?
It's best not to ask.
I've got some moldy waffles. If anyone wants to take.
Maybe not moldy, but
Got one of my lunches from
extremely
yesterday.
stale.
It's basically a rock at this point.
There you go.
Hits it on the table.
Hi. All right, so you guys make your way downstairs, past the second floor. You do notice going down past the second floor this time that the thumps you heard before have stopped.
Well,
I don't know if that's a
as
good
we're
thing or a
walking
bad
down
thing.
the stairs,
Right.
I'm just gonna quietly say, I don't think we should stay in this city any longer than we have to.
Yeah,
No, it gives me the creeps.
Yeah, it's not a very friendly place.
Should we go?
Sorry, I
check
have a
down-
visitor.
A little face appears.
All right, get out of here. Go.
No.
It's bedtime. Go. Yes,
Good
it is.
All right, bye.
Get out of here. All right, you can sit there quietly.
I have an in-person audience now. I can't really see her. But that's all right. So you make your way past down the second floor, making your way down the hallway. You're outside now. Once again, it's around 11Z's, so foot traffic is a little bit slower than it was when you walked through first thing in the morning, because people are starting to stop for lunch and stuff like that. So, where do you want to go?
Governor's office. Looks like
Yeah,
it's kind of
might
on
as
the
well.
way to the docks.
Sure. And you guys want to stop for lunch before you get there?
Grab something from a cart on the
Or
way.
just grab something from a kiosk or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cart.
So you're walking. Don't really notice any carts. Doesn't seem to be a lot of on the street vending or anything like that.
It doesn't have.
Is there
carts.
is there a
Oh.
shop or something that we can pop into and grab a pastry or something?
Yeah,
That was the
absolutely.
street vendor getting beat up.
Yeah, because you didn't have a permit.
Yeah.
You
Why?
can't sell hot dogs on this corner.
License and registration. Yeah, I mean, you pass,
Writing
various
that down,
restaurants.
No street food.
Yeah, that you've encountered so far.
This
Yeah,
place
and
sucks.
absolutely. While you're walking, there are various small restaurants, cafes, stuff like that. But just it'd be something you'd have to, actually pop in and go into, as opposed to, a vendor on the outside. A couple of them are legit sit down places. A couple of them look like they have just a counter that you can walk up and
Cafe
I'll take one of
counter, yeah,
those,
probably be
grab
our
it and
quickest.
go.
Yeah.
A
We'll just
bistro.
pop into one of the places with a cafe counter and grab a meat pie or a sandwich or bread and cheese or something for the walk
They just have stale bread and water.
Tell me that. Yeah, tell me they have more than lembas bread.
Gotta love it. Oh my god, that's funny. All right. Yeah, so you walk into you pop into one of these a small little not kiosk, I almost goofed myself. One of these little cafes, and you stop at one specifically that's just a desk, and you see a glass shelf where the person standing behind it. You do notice that this one is a dragonborn. And she appears to be, just kind of wiping down plates like that. And what you see behind this glass container is you see some sandwiches, some like it looks like a bowl of soup, some little things that look like dumplings, and various types of things like that.
Kira's gonna walk up to the counter and say hello.
And you see she
Down
turns.
here.
Oh, she turns around and says, "Oh, hello."
Down here.
Oh, hello. Hi. Thanks for coming in. Welcome in. What can I get you?
I'll have a couple of sandwiches and a couple of dumplings.
All right.
What do you all want?
That sounds good for me. Couple sandwiches, couple dumplings.
All right. Are you looking
I'll
for?
just have a sandwich.
Are you looking for beef, pork, or lamb?
How about just a
lamb.
like a variation of what you have? Or, yeah, I don't care. You can surprise me.
Can I have all the above?
Just give them like a meat tower sandwich. They'll love that.
Can we get? Let's see. There's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. If we get 3 of each flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Well, the dumplings come 3, a serving of 3 each. So I can absolutely just make one of each for
Take 3 servings,
all of you?
one of each flavor of dumplings.
Wonderful.
And 3 of
Perfect.
each sandwich.
Yep.
Wowzers. Okay. Whew. And you see her kind of perk up and kind of been like, well, this may take me a moment because as you can see, it's just me, and I apologize for that. But
No
feel
worries.
free to. She gestures to a small table that's like one of those small 2-person tables. She's like, well, feel free to have a seat, and I'll get working on this and be done as soon as I can. And you
Do you
see
have
her.
any tea while we wait?
Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely. And she reaches.
Here you go, Kira.
She reaches behind and would you like a green chai tea or a black tea?
You're the expert.
I mean, where's the green chai from?
No, I meant Kira's the expert.
I know spices.
Well, I'll have a black tea, personally.
All right.
Milk and sugar if you have it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, and she gets it all set up and starts. She hands you. Actually, what she does is just hand you a teapot and some cups. And says, "Feel free. Don't worry about paying for refills, and I will go and start making your food." And she kind of
Glenn just takes the entire thing, chugs it.
starts shuffling her way back to the kitchen area to start prepping, making the food and stuff.
Do you want a hand with that?
Oh no, I'm fine. But thank you, though, you kind soul. You.
Do we have a good street from here? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say while she's making that, if we wanted to chat about thoughts, plans.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I also wanted to know, do we have a view of the street? Like, is there windows where we can kind of keep an eye out?
Are you guys listening to me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Your question.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's.
All right.
I was only wondering, can we sort of see the street? Is there any windows?
Yeah.
So that while we chat, an idea of what's going on outside.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's 2 large, floor-to-ceiling windows in the door you went into.
Okay.
So that's when Clancy, because he's gonna speak up with something. So Kira, there's something on my mind that I've been thinking about, and I don't know if you have any input on this, but everything that's gone on with you and Nightshade, do you think she might have someone following you potentially for recruitment purposes? It seems like she's hiring a lot of her old crew.
Exactly say that I was part of her crew per se.
But you had some affiliation, right? So maybe
Oh, yeah.
she's hiring everyone who disbanded from the original Thieves Guild.
Yeah, from Rio? I already forgot.
Ryo.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me this time.
It's your fault. It's your fault because you called him
It is.
4 different names. From what Ryo said, it sounds like she's more recruiting from the folks that did the more dangerous work. Not that what I did wasn't dangerous, but there's
The
a big
more
difference.
like
The more violent work.
unsavory.
Yeah.
Unsavory.
Unsavory is a great word for it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she had somebody tailing me just almost as a sort of a vendetta sort of
I was
thing.
gonna say, you don't think they're after you? She's after you specifically.
I don't know. I mean, I thought for a while that if it was the Thieves Guild as a whole, because as Ryo said, you don't leave the Thieves Guild usually, unless you've been there a long time and have made a lot of money to retire. And I certainly didn't do that. But I thought, I just don't know. I would be surprised if she was following me to recruit me because my skills are not what this seems to be. I don't have any magic. I'm not an assassin trained. I'm
look at
very
you now.
good at stealing things from upper windows.
Took
getting
out. You
into
helped
places
pretty
where
much
I
take out
shouldn't
Deviant.
be.
Deviant ever.
Well,
I mean, she could have
that was a
used
lucky
some
shot.
cat burglary skills,
Twice.
and maybe you're the best of the best at the time, so maybe she needs items.
Don't know that I'd call myself the best of the best, but I'll tell you what, me working for the garrison and going around asking questions isn't helping her recruitment if that's the case. I'll keep my ear out. I think it's a little more likely that I'll be getting a knife in the back than a recruitment offer, but if I get one, I'll definitely let you know, and I'll get as much information as I can.
I'll watch your back here.
Oh, thanks, Flynn. That being said, if we want to try to go down that angle, I'm going to need to spend some time on my own, hanging in a tavern or something.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good plan, considering what you just said.
Visibly on my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. I think it's a great idea. We should go talk to the governor at this point. But I'm really thinking that talking to the harbor master sounds great, but I think we should go take a look at the water and see if maybe we can figure out where the guys went in and see if maybe once again there's a mark or something they left where they just were.
Yeah, well, and that's something that Farron said that I thought was a good idea, to get that list of potential replacements as the strongest magic users in the city. Not that we've got Clancy, who's clearly very skilled, but I think the more magic eyes we have on it, maybe that'll help. That other guy, I forget his name, at Furan was really helpful. So
He was helpful. He was a dick, but he was helpful.
He was a bit of a dick, but he was helpful in the end. Just not very nice about it. So, also, I will say that this city is probably not the best place to attempt any sort of seeing if anybody's following me for recruitment. I don't think this is
we
a
should
place.
do our investigation.
This is not the place to be making waves at all.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't feel comfortable.
No.
And that's saying something. I typically feel comfortable.
Fair.
Alright, so at this point, she comes kind of waddling back out, and she has like a big old arm full of like bags and stuff like that, and she starts like putting stuff on the counter. She says, "Okay, well, that's about half of it, so let me go get the other half and I'll be right back." She starts
Oh my gosh.
shuffling off. Well, you said what?
That sounds delicious.
3 dumplings per person?
3 sets of dumplings, yes.
3
And
sets of dumplings and 3 sandwiches? Like that's
9 sandwiches.
Yeah, so that's a big old meal. And she comes back with the last little bit of it, and she puts it all on down the table, and she says, "Okay, well, thank you so much for your patronage. I am going to give you a bit of a group discount, because it's been a bit of a slow day for me so far. So the dumplings, for is six. Yes,
Give
it's
us a total.
yeah. So now I got to do the math. So you guys got 3 sets of 3 dumplings total for all of you, and then 3 sandwiches each.
Well, 3 sandwiches of each flavor.
Yeah.
So there were 3 flavors.
Yep.
9 sandwiches.
And 3 dumplings. Yeah. 9 sandwiches and 3 orders of dumplings.
9 sandwiches and 3 orders. So 9 sandwiches
pot of
and 3
tea.
orders of
9 sandwiches
and a pot of tea. Okay. So 9. All right. So the 9 sandwiches. So she's like, okay. All right. So the sandwiches. There's 4 silver pieces per sandwich. So 9 times 4 comes out to 36 silver. If you just give me 3 gold for that, that'll be fine. And then it's 6. And then it's 6 silver pieces for a set of 3 dumplings. So that would be 6, 12, 18. So if you want, all right. So that would be 4 gold pieces and 6 silver. Oh, and then the tea, we'll call that. If you just round it up, we'll call that 5 gold pieces for the whole meal.
I'm gonna give her 6.
Great deal.
I'm gonna pay for the whole thing.
I was gonna take it out of party funds, but
No, that's fine. I got this one.
all right.
And she all right,
Is
and
there-
so she. Oh, go ahead, Clancy.
Is there a tip jar anywhere?
There's like a little basket. It's like a little weaved basket, wicker basket, kind of on the glass near the on the counter near where the door is. Yeah.
Keep the change.
What'd you give her?
I gave her 6 gold.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much. Here, and she takes the teapot, kind of walks back, fills it into a looks like some kind of clay cylinder.
Oh.
And fills it up, hands it back to you, and says, "Here for little tea for the road. I feel tea is good for the soul, and you never know when a good cup of tea can help balance things out."
I agree. What's the name of the shop, Tony?
It is.
He's googling tavern.
No, I'm wanting to make sure that that's the name I want to walk with. It's called the Warm Heath.
The Warm what?
Heath. Hearth. Sorry, I misread. I was
Like-
like, a warm heath.
A
The warm heart.
The warm grassy hill.
Also, Clancy's a bit cup of gold in the basket.
And she says, "Oh, that's very kind of you. It's very much appreciated."
And just pro tip, I guess, that halflings have a fast metabolism and like to eat. So,
Well, I have to admit, I've never come across you said halfling?
yeah,
Never come across a halfling before. All I mostly get in here are elves, and elves tend to not really have much of a diet. So I think you're making up for pretty much my last 2 days worth of business. So thank you.
Are you from Moore?
Oh, me? Oh, goodness, no. I've lived here and opened my shop for a handful of years now, but no, I'm originally from up north.
And you've never seen a halfling?
Can't say that I have. I've seen dwarves are about the shortest thing I've seen. Oh, come to think of it, I remember seeing a gnome every once in a while. But yeah, the gnome every once in a while. Otherwise, most short folk I get are dwarves. Can't say I'm not even really sure what a halfling is. Are you, like, a relative of dwarves, or...?
something.
Interesting.
They're half of something, okay?
That's fair. That's fair.
Half the height, twice the heart.
It would seem so.
3 times the appetite.
Yes.
And hi, do you like mines?
Oh, you don't have your permit, Flynn. You gotta wait.
But this is a private show.
She says,
Yeah,
will there be
appreciate it.
anything else?
No, I think we're good. Clancy, Moraga, you want to make your pick, and we'll take care of the rest.
From their
I'd take
platter.
a lamb sandwich.
All right.
Oh,
Right.
if they're ordering, can we throw on one extra of each sandwich? I'll just pay it out. I want to grab some for my uncle.
We're gonna order some more.
Oh,
Well,
I
if-
figured
no,
that
if-
we had all
They're
this.
taking
Yeah.
off.
Are you
Just
taking a
go-
lamb
okay.
sandwich from what they ordered?
Yes.
Morag?
Oh, okay, never mind then.
That
Yeah.
was my intention
Okay.
when I ordered.
Okay, that's what I thought, and then I was like, oh, okay, good. Nope,
Yep,
No,
we're good.
I was just saying out of the selections, Morag and Clancy take what they want, and then
Yeah.
I was gonna eat some and save some
Yep.
from later,
Gotcha.
so we can take
Clancy's
that
just gonna take random thing of dumplings and random sandwich.
Okay. All right. So you guys make your way. You start eating the
Chicken and
food.
permit.
It's a solid meal. I mean, it's not gonna knock your boots off or anything like that, but it's pretty decent. It's like a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
But the
On Yelp.
service was
Especially for
excellent
the
because
price,
she
yeah.
accommodated a large party on very short notice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep,
So
the
service bumps
and the atmosphere. Yep.
service bumps it up to a 4-star.
Leaving 5 stars on Yelp.
I just had flashbacks to when
the
I
price
worked at
too.
the
Price
coffee
pushed it
shop,
up
and this
to-
lady would come, order 20 drinks,
That's
and
insane.
want them all done before everyone else in the lines were done.
Jeez, that's kind of
People are
overkill.
terrible.
Kinda crazy.
All right, so
All
you
right,
guys are.
So,
So are you guys still gonna stop at the governor's estate?
I believe so.
Alright.
So if I go for the permit from a mine, should I give them the silent treatment?
Ew.
just terrible.
I'm gonna zap him.
There you go. You know what to
It's been a while since we've had a zap.
Zippy zap.
do. Zippy zap.
I have to choose wisely.
Yeah, because you don't want to overkill it, because then it loses its effectiveness.
More I guess.
19.
Sounds like burning halfling.
It's a 19 hit.
Nice.
All right, do your 1d4 of lightning damage.
I need a D4. Where's all my D4?
Nope, can't do it now.
I can't find a D4. Will a D8 work? I'm just kidding.
It's getting awkward now. You lost your opportunity.
Yeah, if you,
Technically, a D8 would work.
yeah, if you want to do a d8 and then just divide, divide it by 2.
There you go.
Oh man,
Well, you didn't have
D4s
to.
are the ones I always find
I
first
literally,
with
I
the
have
tip of
like
my finger.
7 D4s and I can't find one of them. It was a 1.
All right, well there you go. So you take your 1 point of lightning damage.
Yeah. Whoa. Everybody's a critic.
Get bent.
Get back. All right, so you make your way through the streets. Pretty much the same vibe. Conversations are hushed. People moving through the street pretty quickly. After a while, so it gets to be probably about 1 o'clock-ish in the afternoon. You come to large walled estate with. Ah! Ah!
Okay.
Earthquake.
It's like being on a roller coaster there for a moment.
People give
You
us
didn't
money
drop
to
any
do
cake
this,
batter.
right? I forget that sometimes.
You need a
Bop.
phone stand.
Pop.
I've got one. in Kentucky.
That's not helpful.
No.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not.
It's sliding. It's sliding. I feel like it's sliding. It's sliding.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sliding.
It is sliding.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm seeing less of your head.
Yeah.
My head's not moving in my image.
No.
Oh, you're
no,
sliding.
I'm seeing
Yeah,
less
because
of
there
the
was
top
a
of your
gap
head.
between you and the top of the screen, and now there's not, so it's slid a little bit.
I don't see the top of your head at all anymore.
Okay, but it's not moving
Pop.
now. So let's.
Let's
I think
keep
it's
going.
good. Okay.
All right, cool.
Are you sure?
There's a gap again.
There you go. I'm just trying to preface it, just trying to warn you. That's all. All right. So
sorry.
once again, large, like the walls around this estate, 10, 15 feet tall, and there's spikes, rails along the top of the wall. The gate going inside is currently open, but there are 2 guards standing outside of it, with halberds at the ready.
Ooh.
As you approach, they do the cross the halberds across the entrance. Say name and business with the governor.
We're
We.
from the garrison. We're here on garrison business.
Business.
All right.
We're
Business.
meat.
So they look at your they look at the badges that you show them, pop the halyards up, and say proceed. There it is, the Kira salute. So you walk through and you see what appear to be estate staff trimming hedges. You notice a group of them look to be like tending to a garden, things like that. Once again, very subdued conversations and everything keeping on the up and up. As you approach the doors, you see once again 2 more guards at the front. And they are also staying with halberds. And they don't, as you approach, which is about a 20-foot walk from the gate to the door. They don't cross the halberds, and they don't cross the halberds like the ones at the gate, but they say, name and business.
We're here. We're from the garrison. We're here on garrison business.
Flash a badge.
Regrettably, you'll have to be a little bit more specific than that to get an appointment with the governor.
We're investigating the recent unfortunate
Okay.
event.
All right. Wait here. One of them.
Business.
Business. So one of them pops in, opens the door and pops inside. You start looking around. Kind of getting the lay of the land and such. The building itself has 2 like colonial style pillars. More than 2. Sorry. There's colonial style pillars that run all the way across the front. Like we're talking, I hate to make this comparison, but it's like southern plantation house style with that number of pillars in front of it and stuff like that. Everything looks immaculate. So like the walls aren't dirty at all. You actually look up and you see windows and you see inside people are cleaning down the inside of the windows and stuff like that. Place looks immaculate.
Place is creepy.
Thinking the same thing.
Morag.
This is just a side note. Colonial colonies didn't exist. They were Greco-Roman.
It's true, technically colonial style houses are very plain.
Anyway, so the guard that walked in walks back out and says, Governor Adnellis will see you now. Her office is across the foyer, and it's large double doors. Can't miss it.
Can you spell her name?
A is in Apple, D is in David, N is in Nancy, E is in Edward, L is in Larry, I is in India, S is in Sam.
Adnellis.
Adnellis. First name is AVA, Ava.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so you walk across the foyer. Once again, you're walking and you see, a couple looks to be staff mopping the floor. Beautiful white marble. No one, oddly enough, nobody seems to be like stopping you to like try to take your coat or anything like that. But there are 2 more guards posted in front of the double doors that the guard had mentioned. And one of them says, feel free to come on in. Opens the door. There is as you walk in, there is a large carpet. Doesn't cover the whole room, but it's like a large carpet rug that stretches about 10 feet. About 10 feet. Into this large room, similar to Governor Strong's office, where there's like large wall-sized windows behind. Normally, however, as you walk in there now, unlike Governor Strong's, you see metal bars posted blocking the windows.
Do they look new, or
they do look like they were just installed.
Okay.
There's still sunlight coming in, so they're not blocking the doors. They're not blocking the windows all the way. And there's one side of the room, there's a couple large bookcases that are filled with various books and stuff like that. On the other side, there's a couple lounging there's a couple lounging couches, a small table with a couple wooden chairs, things like that. And as you're walking up, you see a figure writing down on a book, similar to Commander Theron, whiting hair. And she appears to be writing down in a book.
She's an elf.
Yes, she's an elf. And as you approach, she keeps writing. As if she didn't hear you come in.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, she looks up. She says, "Well, hello. I apologize." She closes the book up, slides it aside, said, "You must be the consultants that my guard just mentioned. Welcome to the city of Moore. And I'm gonna need everyone to go check their Discord DMs. And if you got something, you got something. And if you don't, you don't."
Can you just tell me if I have something? Because I can't actually look.
I'm gonna say no, you don't.
Okay.
So
All
she,
right.
so she closes
You
up her
guys
book.
immediately see Kira's face go pale, and she's frozen.
And she
tries to subtly hide behind Morag. Holy shit! I was not expecting that.
Yes, we are. We're here to investigate the attack that was made on you and Commander Theron.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming. Such a terrible thing to happen to our wonderful city. And I heard from Commander Theron that these events occurred in other places too. Just you hope it's terrible to see things happen to innocent people. I'd given my report to Commander Theron, but I'd be glad to go ahead and answer any questions you may have.
Well, we got the information from the attack on him.
Mm-hmm.
However, any information that you could provide us with what was happening when you were attacked, because as far as I understand, they were not at the same time, correct?
Yes. Well, we still haven't 100%, based on the information that was given to me by Commander Theron, we couldn't exactly pinpoint. They were relatively close to each other. I don't know if they were exactly at the same time or not. But I will gladly provide the information again. I'm sorry, I just thinking about it gets me shakes me a little bit.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, so I was sitting here I was sitting here with my scribe, planning out the next couple days' activities. As you know, we like to celebrate, take advantage of the celebration of the revolution, and all of a sudden, it seemed from out of nowhere, these two individuals in these they were like robes, but they didn't go all the way down to their legs. Seemed to have appeared almost out of nowhere in the room. My scribe told me to, run off and get help while he held them off as best as he could. Regrettably, I didn't have the security I do now. So I had to make my way all the way out to the front gate to grab the guards from the front gate. And by the time I'd gotten back with the guards, she pauses for a second. He lost his life kind of protecting me. And the guards searched the room, couldn't find any trace of these attackers. And then it was right around that time where we started hearing the alarm bells to lock the city down. And then more guards seemed to come in, because standard procedures, when the lockdown alarms go off, troops go to wherever the garrison commander are, and then wherever the governor are, to help secure an event like this happening. It's just it's terrible to see bad things happen to innocent people. So
an insight check.
Sure.
I was thinking that. I was literally just gonna say, I'm kind of rubbing my face. I'm kind of pointing over at Jen, and I'm just gonna use message and kind of point in her direction.
Sure.
Yeah. Does that seem a little fishy to you? Especially with Kira's reaction and the fact that why are there no guards?
Yeah. In my head, absolutely. What I was wondering myself. So.
All right, I'm
doing individual insights, or can we help someone, or?
I figure you can help Flynn. Kira, what'd you get?
18.
18? I'll wait to see what Flynn gets.
Yep.
Don't worry, D. We're gonna wrap up here in a minute. So.
19.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. Just make sure. All right. So 18 to 19. She's telling the truth that you're gathering, but there's maybe it's like almost like a truth by omission vibe. Like there's stuff she might be leaving out, but for the most part, she is telling the truth about the events that happened.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping to get a sense for how much of the remorse is real.
Oh, okay. Well, for him, that's what you get,
too.
Flynn.
I mean, it's
okay.
like Both, kind of.
With 18, it's like it feels 80% genuine. Like 75, 80%. Like, you know, she's obviously sad about it happening, but you get the sense that she's not like truly heartbroken.
Yeah, something's fishy.
Christy wants to ask questions, but Kira would not.
That's kind of how I feel.
Flynn.
Kira's gonna do something she would never do in real life and kind of tug on Morag's sleeve and just kind of say very as quietly,
sure.
Ask about how the scribe died.
Do you happen to know how your scribe was murdered?
Well, when myself and the guards returned back into the room, there were regrettably puncture wounds all over him.
Puncture?
Like stab wounds?
Swords?
Swords,
okay.
short swords, daggers, perhaps. There were also blast marks in the room where my because I was very fortunate that my scribe was a very powerful, he was a strong magic user, so I get the feeling he did the best he could to fend them off or defeat them in the best way that he could, but regrettably it was to no avail. I was just very fortunate that he told me to get out when I did, because I fear the worst would have happened beyond even the terrible things that did already happen.
Was there anything else anyone was able to find about how these people, you said there were two of them, either got into the room or out of the room?
Yeah, yes, it was the strangest thing. The door, because I normally leave those windows locked. There didn't appear to be any sort of, tampering with the locks or the windows. Where we were sitting, we would have seen anybody walk into the door. It was almost like they somehow teleported in the room and then teleported out. But regrettably, as I said, I was not around when they left, so.
I'm gonna look at Clancy and just say, I don't know if you know much about teleportation, but don't you have to know the place that you're going before you can go there?
I mean, yeah, you can do that, or there's random, just see where you end up if you have to get out of a hasty situation where anywhere is better than where you're at. I mean,
Seems awful.
What was that, Bill? I didn't catch it.
This seems awfully specific.
Right, I would think they would have to know in this instance, at least. Otherwise, they'd be teleporting around for quite some time, unless they just got lucky. So they would have had to have been here before. Or someone maybe gave them a description of the room and told them how they could find it. I don't know. But in order to teleport, it's not something that's wholly random.
I mean, that's above my level of magic, so
just out of
don't
character,
really know.
how much would Clancy know about teleportation?
Yeah. Is that something he could make a check on, or?
Yeah, if you want to do an Arcana check, Clancy, you can. Otherwise, if you want to answer it in a role-playing instance, you can too. I leave that up to you.
I mean, it was already answered role-playing wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
all
this
right.
is just an out of character.
Sure. If you want to roll an Arcana check, then Clancy, to see like how much you can recall, you can absolutely do that.
What does 25 get me?
Jeez Louise.
You know everything there is to know about teleportation.
The universe.
And you can now teleport yourself.
Yeah.
Probably it worked that way.
With a 25, you would have to know, if you can't see the place you're teleporting to, you would have to know it in pretty good detail. There is always the possibility you can line of sight, because some teleportation spells allow you to teleport from one place to another as long as there's line of sight. Those spells, the line of sight spells, you tend to not be able to go very far. I remember specifically where this place is and what it looks like, tend to be your longer range teleportation spells.
Are there teleportation stones in this world? Like, someone could have gone there just kind of going through, just like a cleaner that day, and dropped a stone, and that's a teleportation stone. You can teleport to that stone.
I mean, teleportation stones are a thing here. They're pretty rare, and they're mostly kept. As far as you know, based on your travels and talking to people about magic and stuff like that, most of the teleportation stones, they're pretty rare, and most of them are at the College of the Mystics, the College of Magic and stuff in Pastrinos. So there's not a lot that gets spread out outside of in the countryside.
Anyway, Clancy's continue. Actually, now that I think about it, for anything long distance, you would have to specifically know the place that you're going to. But you can kind of like look at a location that you can see in front of you and just keep teleporting your way through. So, I mean, that could have been a way they got around quickly.
I'm gonna go over to the window and see if maybe I can spot a high enough place that they can see in this room.
Yeah, is it pretty like flush with the outside? Like, if someone was just standing outside the window, would they be able to look in?
Yeah, their building, I mean, the walk from the gate to the front door of the estate was like 20 feet. And that's about the distance that you see from the window you're looking out through the bars to the wall. Obviously beyond that, there's, buildings and stuff like that that go above that wall. You do remember walking up, though, that there was like a 5-foot gap like around the outside of the wall. So if you, for example, if somebody wanted to climb the roof of a building and try to jump over the wall, they'd have to be pretty dexterous to land it. Otherwise, you'd probably break something. So
if they could see into the room, they could potentially get on top of the building and teleport into the room if they could see with line of sight.
And you see the governor kind of say, "Oh my goodness, I never thought of that. I'll have to bring that up with the staff and our and figure out a way to help negate that possibility. My goodness, I'd never even thought of that. To think that this could happen again. Oh,
yeah, the cheap way.
To think that there's a possibility that this could happen again to me. Oh, I shudder at the thought.
It could potentially, even with the bars being there.
Absolutely. I mean, the bars were installed, right away, because we thought somehow somebody snuck in, through physical means. But now that you two mentioned that there's the possibility that they could have teleported in just by seeing in, I'll have to speak with my staff and then Commander Theron to see what additional measures could be taken to secure the building better.
You could just plant a few cypress trees outside your windows.
Redwood.
We'll have to. Well, I'll be reviewing. I'll be reviewing everything at this point.
Fake windows.
Fake windows.
Was there
Frosted glass.
is there any other information I could provide you? I mean, I want to make sure that I help out in any way that I can.
What happened to your scribe? Are they buried now? Where's their family? I'd like to pay my respects.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a burial plot out to the west of town. It's in a district we call the Barrow. That's Barrow. That is typically where most of our burials happen. He is buried out there. The staff, I believe, his family and whatnot, I believe, live in the Highland district somewhere. I'd have to review my notes and, I could provide more information to you after going through that. But I believe they live somewhere in the Highland district.
Excellent. If you could send a note along to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In addition, did you have some
Can you speak into the mic more, Phil?
Sorry. What was that called? People to replace the scribe. Do you have someone in mind? Did you have people that were lining up to replace your scribe?
Well, I have started finally reviewing applications. I dreaded the thought of finding someone to replace someone I trusted and ultimately sacrificed their life for me. But I also wanted to make sure that, I had the necessary support to help lead the city going forward. So I've finally started reviewing applications for some of the, for a potential replacement. I've not had the chance to interview anybody yet because it's even reviewing the applications brings me back to that day, and that's makes it difficult. So
I don't mean to press you. I was just curious if you had anyone in mind that was their main expertise was in magic, that we could ask them along for some of our investigation.
Yeah, and she pulls out a sheet of paper, hands it to you. It has a list of like 4 names and then, kind of name of district that they live in and kind of something closely resembling an address. And she says, well, these were the applicants that had magical aptitude that I had considered, that am considering, I should say. And like I said, I've not gotten a chance to interview them yet, but they came recommended based on speaking with Commander Theron, as well as doing my own research.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
I would like to just extend some advice when you're doing this process. I know it's very different from what it used to be, and you did have that very trusted assistant. With the attacks, however, I would definitely proceed with very much caution, just in case they might be trying to plant someone in your services.
I absolutely appreciate the thought. Yes, I've taken, as you can see, extra precautions with my own personal security. I know Commander Theron has increased patrols around the city, and anything that we do going forward, we will be doubly precautionary to make sure that anyone that is added to my staff or the garrison troops or anything like that is met with the utmost scrutiny.
Absolutely.
And as you guys are having this conversation, one of the guard that you had talked to at the front of the door earlier, at the front of the front door earlier, pops his head in, says, Governor Adnelis, apologies for the interruption, but your next meeting is here waiting in the foyer. She says, oh yes, thank you. I'll be let him know I will be out in a moment. Very good, ma'am. Closes the door. She says,
obviously you're incredibly busy, and I understand that you a lot happened that day and so forth. You must be completely shaken by this. If there's anything else you can think of, remember later, anything like that, please do let us know. That would definitely help us in our investigation, having all the information.
yes, I will absolutely pass that along. Anything that, triggers memories or anything like that, I will pass that along to Commander Theron. And I thank you. We normally tend to take a lot of pride in being able to solve problems on our own here at Moore, but I heard that your group comes highly recommended from Commander Icewind and Governor Strong over at Furon. So if those, if they can trust, they trust you with this information in this investigation, it is the least I could do to help out in any way that I can.
Of course, of course.
Now, and then she stands up and starts to gesture to the door and says, "Now, please keep myself and Commander Theron in the loop with any new developments you may find." I'll get up, start walking towards the door.
Quick pause.
Sure.
Did she say that they attacked and that they disappeared, or were they killed?
They were gone before she got back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she walks. All right. So she opens the door to gesture you out. In the foyer, you see a Goliath standing there in what's essentially like half armor is the best way to put it. So it's not like he's not like fully geared up for like battle or anything like that, but he is looking like he could very easily get into a battle at any moment. There it is. So she peeks out and she says, Culver, please come in. We could discuss the questions you had about the spiked javelin concerns you had. And he kind of walks by you, takes a look down, says, "It's a pleasure. Thank you." And makes his way in. And she closes the door behind. And the guards in front of her door say, "If you could make your way out, thank you and have a wonderful day."
I'm walking out. Do I recognize any of the guards?
Roll a history check.
Oh, it's my strong suit.
Use the book.
It's not Starhel history that I'm. It's my own memory.
It's Kira history.
Rolling for. Kira history.
Do.
Big fat plus 0. 8.
8. Nope. Not a soul.
Too shook.
All right, so you make your way out through the front door, through the across the courtyard, out to the front gate, and you walk out having interviewed the two individuals who had their lives attempted on, trying to figure out where the investigation will lead you next. We will end it for tonight.
Hey, you guys have seen a shift in Kira where she was paranoid and then had relaxed once she got the information from Ryo. Now she's the same, like, hood up, like, hunched over, shifty eyes, checking everybody out.
And that was just with the sight of the governor?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. you'll have to find out next week what happens.
I think she might be a
Oh,
specific
boy.
person, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. All right. So
It's your
thank
mom.
you to everybody. You guys are fantastic as always. I love you so much. Was there any other subs or anything like that I missed? Oh, we missed a raid.
We had a raid and a
And
sub.
a sub. Oh,
And a sub.
Epic Deuce. Thanks for the sub. Oh, my boy. I'm so glad he's here. And then we had a raid. Thank you, raiders. We appreciate you. So, as always, the replay will run at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern tomorrow. Otherwise, we will be back at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday to figure out what the party is going to be doing next. Now that they're in more and they have a couple more investigation points that they can
Couple
go over.
more investigation.
More investigations. See, that's not a pun. I don't think that's a pun. That shouldn't count. Cool.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Well, I made it, and I don't have a pun counter, so I'm allowed to say it.
Hey, all right.
Morally speaking.
So, as always, check out the Discord, check out the TikTok, check out the Instagram,
and the YouTube.
For all of the good stuff. Unfortunately, it is time for us to go back to the real world. Boo.
I don't want to wait a week.
Oh, well, you and I can hang out for a little bit if you want to just chit chat. So.
I can chit chat a little bit, but I have.
Let's see here. All right, so as always, we'll be going out to our friends over at Blue Cottage D&D. Like I said, they're probably ready to wrap up anyway. That's completely fine. We still want to go over there and show them some love. So, thank you all. We love you, appreciate you, value you, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.